You are the first generation of Swedish Jews in your family. Is this making you a different Jew in any sense?
The story is kind of unique. So on one hand, it gives a certain feeling of, on one hand, it enriches. On the other hand, children want to be like everyone else, and so it does give a certain feeling of outsideship, right? Because there was pretty much nobody else like us, or again, few people. A few there were, but not so many. The first time that I can at least remember having friends, hanging out with friends and so on, with Swedish friends, is in high school, 10th, 11th and 12th grade, and that's because there was no Jewish high school. So I had to go to a Swedish high school, so I went to a local Swedish high school, and and I had friends. Just like people make friends. And there I was even more unique, right? Because there were, I think there were 2 Jews in that high school. So that's not that many. Again, it could have been maybe some more, but there were 2 Jews that I knew about. And actually the other one, he was also, he also was a child of Polish Jewish parents. The problem of being different, most people, and myself included, I'm sure, want to try to erase that. I was very, very Swedish. You have to remember, I was a passionate Swedish patriot. I was a member of the right-wing Swedish party. I was an active member. I volunteered. I was very passionate about Sweden in ice hockey and football, which is ice hockey especially. I remember watching those games. I remember crying, when Sweden would lose. Again, very, very, passionate Swede. Which I think is understandable. Considering that that's a ticket in, so to speak. And that really only changed in the last year of high school. So that's when I realized that my good Swedish friends, for them, to use a not so nice expression, for them I was still a kike, no matter what. And they didn't think it was such a bad way. It was, I think, 3rd year in high school. Yeah, 3rd year, last year in other words. And then I found out that people, there was through some conversation or other. Basically, it was there was some discussion about foreigners. And I remember saying that, who cares? It doesn't. Why should let's change topics or something? It's boring. It doesn't really concern us anyway. And then they all looked at me like, "What? But you're a foreigner." And I remember looking at one of them and saying, "Wait a minute. Who helps whom when we have exams in Swedish? Whose Swedish is better, right?" And I remember he said, "Yeah, but that's not what it's about." And I realized that that's, that despite everything, in spite of wanting to be Swedish and really, really believing in this idea that you can fully be both Swedish and Jewish. You do not have to be less Jewish. You can be 100% Jewish and 100% Swedish, because that's the essence of the multicultural Swedish society that you're allowed to just add on, basically. I kind of got that as a slap in my face. The truth of the matter is, it happened several times in high school. I remember speaking to one of my teachers, actually specifically the Swedish teacher. I remember at some point he refused to give me an A, and I came to him and I spoke to him, and he said, "Well, it's difficult when you come from a foreign family. It's difficult." I remember that phrase. I remember my feeling of wanting to throw up, because there was nothing to do, and and so I remember detesting it. But Okay. So all these things contributed to me eventually leaving Sweden.